Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today new video about Final Fantasy XIV. A patch reading video. Patch 5.35 notes is out since like half an hour. I kinda have read it a bit. Some good things, some interesting things, mostly about Bozjan Southern Front. So patch 5.35 brings a multitude of additions and to the realm, including the continuation of the Save the Queen story and Resistance weapons, a new instance encounter on the Bozjan Southern Front, and upgrades to Skysteel Crafter and Gather tools. So we have new KS, new things in Gold Saucer, new PvP, balance change, new items, system things, resolved issues, non-issues, housing pattern, miscellaneous, so some and the feast, so the new season of the pit. So the biggest part of this patch, if we forget one thing, I will see that later, is save the Queen Blade of the Gunhild. So new story quest, side story quests have been added, so we've got a good number of quests actually. The first one will start in Gangos, so if you don't know, Gangos is a new area for this sad series of quests. Series of side quests? Yes, that's better. Series of side quests. So you must have done 5.2 story and the quest Bozjan Incident on Fire in Zeal Forge. It means starting the story of Save the Queen. So we've got some quests for that. We've got the resistance weapons, so the relics weapon. We can say this like that of Shadowbringer. So you have to speak uh, to stressed soldier in Gangos to continue the story of these weapons. You have request for that. Skysteel's tools that is equivalent of relic but for crafters and gatherer. So you have a new dispatch rotation. We will have a step for each tools. So for that you will have to speak to Nailmar in rotation. We've got new chapters in New Game Plus that was announced before, but it is A Realm Reborn Part 1 to 6. To be able to have New Game Plus, you will have to complete the Ultimate Weapon now, instead of Event Sword. Now we have the housing part, another big part of the patch, wards 22 through 24 has been added to all residential districts. So 3 wards has been added to a residential district, each of which includes a subdivision, and in subdivision there will be also an apartment building. So that's a lot of houses and apartments. So that's interesting. Every plots are available for free companies and individual players at release, so everyone can buy house. Usually it is reserved to free companies, then goes available for player. We've got new furnishing, so if I recall correctly, we got that window and like, I don't know the English name, but that special wall like that. That's interesting, that add a lot of things for housing purpose. That flower existed. I think on the left it's items that existed. Maybe the uh, art part here is new. We've got that outdoor housing items, which is really nice. I can feel like there are a lot of things to do with that. Just have to know if we can put items on it or not. But I doubt. We've got new furnishing added, new orchestrion. For Gold Saucer, we've got a new card, a new NPC opponent for triple triad. Maybe in Gongos actually. Miscellaneous, we've got a new emote. Tishon ein Ishgard in Firmament, but I think it can be from Gongos too, so we will see. This is Guard emote. We've got a new hairstyle. This is the hairstyle of Zech. I think that's his name, Zech, from Final Fantasy X. So, or maybe, yes, that's Zech, I think. That's nice, I think. Bozjan battle system. So that will be the biggest part of its patch reading. And an interesting part actually. So the Bozjan Southern Front is a new instance encounter wherein players assist the Bozjan resistance in reclaiming their homeland from the 4th Imperial Legion. Up to 72 players can join a single instance, taking part in various large-scale encounters, as well as more challenging player-limited ones. Read on and learn how you can play a part in earning victory for the Bozjan resistance. So level requirement is 71, party size is 8 player, runtime limit is 180 minutes, that's like Eureka. It is up to 72 players, but as it is new content, there will be a lot of sessions, so if you want to go with your friend, be in a group because you might not be in the same session. Requirements: you have to be at least level 80 and complete the quest Where Eagles Nest in Gongos by speaking to Marsak. Entering the Bozjan Southern Front, you can enter it by speaking to Sheros at Gongos. Forming party. Inside of Bozjan, you can form parties by inviting other people. If you are entering Bozjan in a party and leave Bozjan, you are still in the party outside of Bozjan. Level sync, that's one of the interesting part of Bozjan, and for leveling and stuff like that. I think that's mind blowing because they did something great here. So all forays in Bozjan Southern Front are level synced, with player levels adjusted to 80. So if you are level 71 enter Bozjan, you will be level 80 for Bozjan. And all equipment adjusted to item level 430. If you have item level of 300 and level 71 and you never put some gear on your character or stuff like that, maybe it is naked, then your item level will be 430. If you are high level 500, you have the best items, you have the best things in the world, you will be 430. There is no differences between both type of player, and that's really nice. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do. Maybe not outside of the world, outside of Bozjan and duties and stuff like that, but for that, I think that's really nice because for we will see that after, but for the critical encounter, everyone have a chance to trigger the 1 versus 1 critical encounter and stuff like that. Furthermore, materia bonuses will be ignored regardless of the item level of gear affixed with materia. Action requiring job quest completion will remain inaccessible if their associated quests have not been completed. That's not the case for skills of level 71 and more. because you don't need to do some quest for them, but for lower level skills. So if you are level 71, do your job quest, please. That's basically that in that red message. Earning experience, players who have yet to reach level 80 will earn experience points commensurate with their job level, which is nice. Changing classes and jobs, that's different for Eureka, this part. You may change between Disciple of War and Magic classes and jobs level 71 or above. Note, however, that you cannot change class or jobs during combat or when participating in critical engagement. So if you don't know, in Eureka you have to be in the encampment or well the starting area to change your class. But if I'm right, you can change it everywhere. Moons. Players are free to ride moons at any time after entering the instance, but you can't fly. Enemies. Enemies encountered in Bozjan Southern Front will have an icon next to their name, denoting their strength. So basically, as you can see on your screen, the monster here is strength 2, so basically difficulty 2. I believe there is 1, 2, 3, maybe 10 level, maybe, I don't know. The larger the number on this icon, the more powerful the enemy. Especially dangerous enemies will be a unique icon with no number. Metal and resistance rank. Metal. By participating in battles in Bozjan Southern Front, players earn metal. After earning sufficient metal, players can speak with the resistance commander to increase their resistance rank. You cannot earn metal from fighting any enemies, that's only in skirmishes and critical engagement. Resistance rank is a representation of your reputation on the Bozjan Southern Front. As your rank increases, the resistance front line will advance, allowing you to explore new areas on the Southern Front. Current resistance rank and metal earned can be viewed at any time via the HUD. As you can see, resistance rank 3, metal 675, next rank 2000, stuff like that. That's a new experience experience and level thing. In Eureka you have a different level, it is elemental level. In that, in Bozjan Southern Front it is a resistance rank, and basically you don't earn experience by fighting, you earn experience by going back to the commander and giving him metal to get some experience. Penalties. After reaching resistance rank 5, player will begin to lose metal upon being incapacitated. Players will also lose metal if they return to their encampment or leave the instance without being revived. That's like Eureka, but normal. Resistance rank cannot go down from losing metal. You can basically go back to 0 on experience for your actual rank, but you can't go on the previous rank. Encounters on the Bozjan Southern Front, player must assist the soldiers of Bozja by participating in skirmishes and critical engagement. Contribution to this battle will earn players the following rewards: metal, Allagan Thompson for a job at level 80, and experience points for a job below 80. Victory in these battles is essential to pushing the front lines forward and ultimately routing the enemy imperial force. Skirmishes with battles appear throughout the instance and can be joined by any number of players. Most skirmishes are commenced randomly in the field, with some being triggered by defeating certain enemies. That's like Eureka, basically. Critical engagement, so basically this is in blue, and critical engagement in red. So that's kind of important to keep in mind. Saying that, I will do a guide as soon as possible for Bozja to give you the most information possible. I will play a lot to do that, but yeah, I will try to do it as soon as possible with a visual guide. These battles are triggered by defeating certain enemies or victories in skirmishes, allowing only a limited number of combatants. Critical engagement do not require you to be present in the field to participate. Instead, players must request deployment with the resistance recruitment window. Um, Joining critical engagement. Once battle has commenced, critical engagement will appear in the resistance recruitment window, so that's something on your HUD. There, players can confirm whether the resistance is enlisting more combatants to join the fray, the maximum number of participants, as well as the time remaining on the encounter. So as you can see the name of the encounter, number of combatants that are enlisted for it, and how much time you still have. Sorry for the noise. Critical engagement takes place in three phases. First, registration. Player will have 1 minute after a critical engagement has been initiated to request deployment. There are more requests for deployment than are permitted for an engagement. However, participants will be selected at random. If you are in a party, the party leader must request deployment on behalf of their party. In the event participants are selected at random, the party will be accepted or declined as a whole. Preparing for battle. You have 2 minutes to prepare for battle once you are inside critical engagement. When you are ready, you can be transported to the battlefield via resistance recruitment window. Should the maximum number of combatants not be reached before the preparation phase? That's interesting because I was wondering what would happen. The resistance will call for reinforcement, at which point players may again request deployment. Oh, so basically there you can wait for more players. When requesting deployment as reinforcement, all players must apply separately, even if they are in a party. Furthermore, commandants will be selected in the order in which they applied rather than by lottery. Okay, that's reinforcement, so that makes sense, I guess. When the preparation phase ends, player must take up arms and do battle with Imperial forces. Priority deployment. It is possible to gain a priority deployment for critical engagement. This can be accomplished in one or two ways. Combatants priority deployment. So players who contribute to the initiation of critical engagement may receive priority when registering for their next deployment. Quartermaster's priority deployment. You can receive priority deployment in exchange for Bozjan cluster by speaking to the resident quartermaster at which has Aegis. It should be noted that those with combatants priority deployment are more likely to be chosen. When registering as a party, all party members must have the same type of priority of deployment for it to be recognized. If the number of players requesting priority deployment exceeds the number of combatants, they will be selected by lottery. Okay, so the first red message is basically if one have a higher priority but not all the members of the party, then it is a normal priority. Bozjan cluster. When defeating monster on the Bozjan Southern Front, there is a chance player will come across Bozjan clusters. These crystals can be traded to the resistance quartermaster at Ucha's Aegis, so that's the starting area, I guess, for various goods and services. The number of Bozjan cluster in your possession can be confirmed via the HUD, as you can see. Bozjan cluster 50 out of 200, so there is a limit. Okay. Logboxes. While battling on the Southern Front, player will also come across logboxes. They can be replaced by the resistance locksmiths, just like Eureka. Okay, so now we have another big part. Lost actions are a special type of duty action exclusive to the Bozjan Southern Front, just like Logos action in Eureka. They have various effects, including those used for attacking, healing, and reviving allies. Their effective use may be turned to the tide of battle in your fight against the 4th Imperial Legion. Lost actions are unlocked after reaching resistance rank 2 and progressing the quest line. Forgotten fragments and the Lost Finds cache. During their expedition into the front, players will obtain items known as Forgotten Fragments. These can be examined by a resistance appraiser at each of the ages, transforming them into lost actions. While unidentified fragments can be placed in your inventory, those transformed into lost actions are stored in the Lost Finds cache, which can hold up to 200 copies of any lost action. Lost Find Holster. To use Lost action in battle, they must first be moved from the Lost Find cache to the Lost Finds Holster. Okay. It should be noted, however, that the Lost Finds Holster has a limited capacity. While this limit can be increased with a higher resistance rank, you must choose carefully which actions to take into battle. Up to 10 combination of your favorite lost actions can be saved as set. As you can see here, there is a set. Once the set has been loaded, your section of action can be confirmed in the Lost Finds Holster window. Hmm. I'm just okay. That's the holster actually. So you can have all of this. That's interesting. I don't think it will be as powerful as Logos action if you can hold as much as that. We will see. While most lost action must be converted into duties action before they are used, some can be used directly from the holster as items using duty action. So yeah, you have two duty action and you can use them. So using them as duty actions, lost actions are kept in the lost find holster until they are assigned as duty action. Lost actions assigned as duty action will not be lost upon exiting the Bozjan Southern Front. When two duty actions are set, the controls are as follows. That's for console players. Using as item, lost action categorized as items can be used directly from the Lost Finds holster to activate their effects. They may also be assigned to your hotbar, making them ideal for use in emergencies. Field records. As you progress through the quest on the Bozjan Southern Front, a field record will be added to your collection. Furthermore, completion of certain quests, skirmishes, and critical engagement in the Bozjan Southern Front will earn you sheaves of notes. These notes can then be used to add entries to the field records. If you should find sheaves of notes already added to your field record, they can be traded to the Resistance Historian for various goods. Okay. So we are done for Bozjan Southern Front itself. Now we have new resistance weapon story quest. I won't read everything, but basically you have a new quest in Gangos for the resistance weapon. We will see that later. There are some PvP adjustments for Warrior, Dragon, Samurai, Machinist, Way Mage, and Scholar. Okay, that's a lot of things to change. We have a new season for the Feast, the ranked PvP, so season 17, and there will be new reward for that. We have new items, of course, new recipes, new Sky Steel Tool quest added, so in Futation, speaking to Neymar. New miner and Bâtonnet gathering points added, probably for Sky Steel Tool. New item added for gathering point. New fish has been added, new moons has been added, so this one we saw from 5.3 live later. But that's new moons with a S, so yeah, there are multiple moons, probably linked to Bozjan Southern Front. New minions added, like this mechanical doggo. A new achievement, new field operation category has been added to achievement. Lakeland will no longer be separated into multiple instances. It was the case for the new Beast tribe. A community finder button has been added to the official site window, accessed via the system menu. So you can click on it and can go on the website you want, like Lodestone, to get the last news of the game or stuff like that. A new following text command has been added, so /guard, that's the new emote. New music added, and some various issues known and unresolved. But that's already a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. That's a lot of information actually. I can't wait for the servers to go online in 3 hours from now. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you will enjoy Bozjan Southern Front as I am hyped for it. I will do a lot of video about it. Stay safe and see you next time.